Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Hull City in Football Manager 2018. And today we have the chance to win our first ever cup title. And it's the FA Cup final. And maybe not the fanciest title, but it's a title we definitely want to win now that we have reached the final. But before we get to that, I want to talk about the league. And I want to talk about my job security. Because my job security is down to only stable. The board are very disappointed with the team's performance in the Premier League. Oh my gosh. They've gone from being like very, very secure to down to having the board being very disappointed and only stable. That's not great. That's some worrisome news. They expected more from the league, and I expected more. I really thought that we could win the league, and I definitely didn't see us in third place. So that's not great. But since the league is over, there have been a few awards. So I just want to take a quick moment to talk about them. So Keane won the top goal scorer, and this is of course our first top goal scorer since Lapadula did it 2 seasons ago. But the interesting thing is actually all these three guys. Timo Werner and of course our own Harry Kane ended up on the same amount of goals. All of them scored 24 goals. So my guess, and this is only a guess, is that since all of them scored the same amount of goals, they went for goals per game or something like that. Because Keane wasn't the one with the most amount of assists, so they haven't gone on assist. But look at Keane, 24 goals in 29 games. Make me believe that's why he won it. He got the most amount of goals in the fewest amount of games. That's my guess. The second guess, it's because of average rating, because he actually had the highest average rating of these three guys. But it must have been either goals per game or average rating. But I don't care. We had number one guy and we had number three guy. That's great. That's what we want to be. We want to have top players. And other than that, Shabanov was named Young Player of the Year, and that's of course great. And that keeps a fine tradition here, because he won Player of the Year last season, and the season before that, Afonso won it. So yeah, we set some great history here when it comes to young players of the year. And also when it comes to the team, we managed to get 3 players there. Of course, our 2 strikers and then Afonso Sosa. A clear sign that our attacking side is maybe our strongest side. While United, on the other hand, look at the defense here. The goalkeeper and 3 out of 4 defenders was from United. So yeah, and then we have some Chelsea, and then we have also another United player in the midfield. And of course, Shabano dedicates the award to his hero, his favorite person in the whole world, and that's of course me. But yeah, let's talk about today. And today it's the FA Cup final. Oh, actually, I forgot to mention we played Arsenal in the league in between these 2 episodes, and we actually got a surprisingly easy win. Actually, as you can see here, they had 5 shots, but when we reached half time, during the first half, they didn't have a single shot, not a single shot at all. So we completely dominated this. They didn't have a single highlight for the whole game. Every highlight that showed up was for us. So yeah, I'm surprised that we dominated that game so much, considering we were playing at the Emirates. And Arsenal now, they fell down a little bit, but they were up here before the game. So yeah, I'm really, really satisfied with that result. Just surprised that we got it so easy. But as you can see, we were far behind Chelsea United. Not good enough, but at the same time, it's like miles down to 4th place. So we were really in no man's land here. But yeah, today is the FA Cup is versus West Ham, and I mean, if you look at the league table, West Ham is the team that's just behind us. Just behind us. Yes, there's quite a few points difference, but that means like we can't take this one easy. It's going to be a very difficult game. I mean, especially since we just managed to beat them in the league. Not only because, of course, they're going to be fired up because it's a cup final, but they're probably also going to be fired up because, I mean, they want to prove that they are better than us, since we are the team just ahead of them in the league table. So I'm expecting a very difficult final. This is the way when I started a little bit more balanced, and I'm Bragressa is back. He's finally back from his injury. This is his first time. As you can see, he's lacking health. So he will be on the bench for this one. Maybe he'll make his comeback today. But yeah, I think that's it. Let's submit the team and play a final. As I said, Hull, not only on this save, like forever in Hull's history, have never ever won a big cup title. Last season, we won the league for the first time in the club's history. Now we have the chance to win the FA Cup for the first time in the club's history. And that's, of course, huge. That's fantastic. And yeah. And that was a crappy team talk. Well, maybe it's going to get a little bit better after this. But yeah, I am excited. At the beginning of the season, I didn't care much about the FA Cup, but when you reach the final, of course, you desperately want to win it. Look at this Mangala here with a potential injury already from start. That's a risky move, especially since his fitness levels are so low. But yeah, clock is ticking away though. We have creating a few chances, but not a single highlight. And as I say that, oh, actually, I'm playing Mannion in the goal. I felt like he deserved it. He's been, of course, he was the goalkeeper that's were playing a few games when Westeen was out with an injury. And oh, your beautiful goal here by Moise Keane. Take a look at that header. It's fantastic. But yeah, I mentioned him before. The last 2 seasons, he's been loaned out, been playing a lot of Premiership games, and I feel like Westeen is our #1 choice for sure. But this guy is good enough. Like, he needs to play a few games, and I have used him in the FA Cup. He's been playing in almost every FA Cup game. It's been like his moment to shine, and I'm not going to change that for the final. So Mannion is playing here in the final also. Because, yeah, as I said, like, he is a good player. He's just not as good as Westeen, but he definitely needs some more playing time. And this could be bad news, because here is West Ham with the first highlight of the game, but beautiful intercepted. And here we have Svensson for Sosa. Sosa loses it. Cargo picks it up, though. Back to Sosa. He changes side. Bowen, look at a lot of space here for Calabria. Calabria with the cross, and oh my god, we are definitely getting a little bit lucky here. It's a really weak defense by Jones, and Jones actually sets up Bowen to a pretty easy goal, but still, nice clinical finisher. But yeah, look at this run from Calabria. It's so good, gets so much space here. And then this cross is kind of a weak, but that clearance from Jones is a huge mistake, and Bowen shows no mercy. They actually have signed Alba here, I noticed. They have some decent players here with Alba and Mourinho and so on. Another highlight where Lanzini is breaking through into the box. And oh my god, that was a very dangerous rebound, but lucky for us, Maya picked it up. And actually, I just noticed one thing. Let's see if I was right. No, I wasn't right. I thought I saw a name in their squad, one of our former players, but I was mistaken. You saw like his name for a blink of an eye, and it was similar, but it wasn't him. Afonso for Keane. Keane misses that one. Selleck wins the header. Calabria, Suma with a very long cross for Keane. And Keane, my god! And that pass from Suma is sensational. And that finisher from Keane shows us why he became the Premiership top goal scorer. Because that's a sensational finisher. But this pass from Suma, oh my god, that's world class. That's some Bonucci stuff. That's like Bonucci in his glory days. That he did passes like that from central defense. And yeah, fantastic. Fantastic. And we are completely dominating the final here. We're about to head into halftime. We have a 3-goal lead, and we are so close that we can smell the title. And still, we want them to stay focused. There's still 45 minutes left to play. And yeah, some of them didn't agree, but I definitely agree. We need to stay focused. You can start slacking here. We're in a great position. We have 4 to 5 minutes to run the title. But if you start slacking, bad things can happen in Football Manager. And Football Manager loves to make you cry. So yeah, we need to stay focused. This Carbo. Carbo for Sosa. Sosa for Svensson. Svensson into the box. And that's no trouble at all for the West Ham goalkeeper. I mean, looking at the statistics here, yeah, we have had every single highlight more or less. They had one. But 6-3 shots, just haven't been that many chances. I thought actually we had seen more than that. No, as I say that, we are getting 2 quick chances, but I think it's time for some subs here. So first of all, let's see, is anybody having a bad day at work? Kind of not. So let's think here. I think it's a great timing to have Braganza make his comeback. So he will replace Fonseca. Let him work a little bit on his fitness levels. And other than that, or anything special? I think the lads are playing so well, so I'm going to give them a few more minutes before I make my last subs. Yeah, I think it's time. And of course, we want to give more people the chance to have been a part of the final. Who will go for? Gonna remove Afonso. Let's bring in Elena. And for the last sub, let's remove Carbo and bring in Farrell. But yeah, it's been a lot. First half was all the highlights, but look at the chances here. We've been creating a crap ton of chances in the second half, but no highlights at all, I feel like. And that's the... Well, it's just like for them to have something positive to remember from this final, because I'm okay with it. Of course, I would have preferred for Mannion to keep... oh my god, it's another highlight! Well, I would have preferred for him to not concede a goal, but still, we already need the cup. We really can't complain. It's Bowen to nobody, and that's a full-time whistle. And we see some title celebrations here. It's beautiful. It's glorious. We have won our first cup title. And we have the chance to win another cup title very soon, because of course the next episode is going to be so much bigger than this one. Next episode will be the Champions League cup title, and that's of course something we desperately wanted. And I think I'm just going to congratulate them. And but yeah, next episode, it's going to be the biggest episode ever of this series. The biggest game. Last season we got knocked out in the first knockout round, but this one we made it all the way to the final. It's versus Atletico Madrid. That's been sensational in the Champions League this season. But if we can win this one, then it will be a glorious day for Hull City. It would be by far the biggest day in the club's history. And I mean, I desperately want it. The players desperately want it, and I know you guys desperately want it. And I think we can do it, but I'm not taking anything for granted. It's going to be extremely difficult. Atletico Madrid has been such a good team in the Champions League, but at the same time, I mean, we managed to knock out Real Madrid. We managed to knock out PSG. I mean, if we beat teams like that, there's no reason why we couldn't beat Atletico Madrid, at least on a good day. But I think that's it for this episode. As always, thank you so much for sharing your time with me, and I'll see you in the next one.